Welcome to Zone In Sports, your favorite spot for real talk, bold takes, and everything in the zone when it comes to sports. From hard-hitting analysis of the Miami Hurricanes football to the hottest stories across the sports world, we're bringing you that energy, passion, and a little bit of swagger, just like the U. So whether you're tailgating in the Coral Gables or arguing in the group chats or just vibing in your way to work, buckle up. You're in the zone with your host, D. Hamp.
All righty out there. Hey, Eric and I'm coming to you guys from cloudy Florida. And we're going to start off talking about this Bethune-Cookman game before we hop into last week's game with Notre Dame, because there's been a lot of talk going on about the Notre Dame game, and we're here to clear the air about some of that stuff out there. If you're coming into the building, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and we're going to get it cracking. We got Bethune-Cookman tonight here at Hard Rock. Ironically, this is the highest ranked opponent that Bethune-Cookman has faced in history. The one before that was Florida State back in 2013, where Florida State was ranked number 8 at the time, and they beat Bethune-Cookman 54-6. Last week, Bethune-Cookman lost to FIU 42-9. And head coach Raymond Woody actually was on the coaching staff with Mario at Oregon back in the day, back in 2017. What are you looking for out of the game tonight?
The biggest thing I'm looking for is no injuries. First of all, nobody get hurt. First team might get a couple, maybe the first quarter, maybe a quarter and a half. And then I think in this game, even with Carson Beck starting, I think all the wide receivers are going to get some more touches and rotate in and out, because this wide receiver group is very deep.
Mm-hmm.
With all the guys they got, they're probably at the receiver group. They're, I think, 8 or 10 deep. So I think you'll see a lot of receivers getting time. I think after a quarter or so, you're going to see some of the second string offensive linemen get a little bit more time. You may see the freshman running back. He's number 4 on their depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
He may get some shine. I think Beck will play a quarter, maybe a quarter and a half, and then that's it. Depending on the score. Bethune put up a little fight last year. They didn't just lay down last year. They put up a little fight. They're not just coming in just for the money and bringing their band. They're going to play. They're going to play. So I think it's the defense. The biggest thing is not anybody get hurt. Don't look ahead to South Florida. Focus on this game. Clean up some things. This is like a scrimmage. This could be like a really good scrimmage, because, like I said, Bethune's got some athletes. They don't have no problems over there.
I think they got about over 60 players from the state of Florida on their team. So, they got some athletes.
They got some guys that maybe didn't go to Miami because they weren't quite there, either academically or with their play. But they got some guys. They could have went to FAMU. They could have went to a number of other HBCUs. They stayed in state. They could have probably went to FAU or FIU, but they decided to stay with Bethune. They got some players. So this ain't going to be no cakewalk like some people thinking. It may be toward the end of the game. Maybe it might get to that point.
Well, it better not be like Louisville and JMU yesterday. JMU got some ballers.
I expect Bethune to put up a fight. I expect this first quarter to be – they're going to give you their best shot. So that's why Miami first team offense is going to be out there. I also think later in the game, depending on certain situations, you might see Malachi Tony playing some quarterback. You might see that because he was a quarterback at American Heritage and a wide receiver. So I think after Emory gets some click, and then the freshman phenom from Georgia that they got, he's going to get some click. I think in certain situations late in the game, you might see Malachi at quarterback.
Yeah. I want to see what Emory's going to do. I actually want to see Judd and see what we haven't seen a lot of Judd and of course Luke Nicolot. So hopefully all of them get some player time out there.
Some reps out there. A lot of second string O linemen get some reps. I think all the wide receivers are going to get time. All of them going to get rotated in and out. Same defense. So the biggest thing from today is just don't get hurt. Nobody get hurt. Play hard. They're going to give you their best shot in the first quarter. You know this. If I go into the second quarter, Bethune is not going to just come out there and say, well, we hear they gave us $750,000 to bring our band again like they did last year. It's very generous for Miami to do that, but they ain't just coming up there to get pounded. They going to play.
Right, yeah.
So they going to throw their best shit at you, and they did last year when they had Cam, they did. So
I'm interested to see also what some of these backup linebackers going to do. Of course, you got Wiley and them boys. This true freshman, they should get some click. Some of it's going to be interesting to see what some of the backup to learn about this depth. Well, because we know injuries happen. We finna get into the thick of the season after this, and you just hope everybody stay healthy. But you need to see that Mario build the depth that he was talking about, that he wanted to do so bad this year. So hopefully we get to see what some of these guys could do out there. So it's an interesting point. Looking forward to that. Guys, I will be at the game. I'll probably be there a little bit early trying to check out guys' tailgates. If you guys are at the game, send me a message, DM me on Twitter, and maybe we can hook up, get some footage or whatnot, rock out, have a good time.
Should be a good time, man. Should be, if the rain stay away, it should be a good time. I'm still debating if I want to get to this Louisville game. I'm on vacation, so I'm just wanting to see how things look. If I can sneak down there and get to that Louisville game.
Yeah. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about this Notre Dame game here. And
I've been seeing it's a lot of hidden, a lot of stuff in the game that people didn't maybe see, that the fan base should recognize and be really proud of with the team. We'll get into that.
Yeah. I want to go quarter by quarter. I don't want to go whole game analysis up front.
All right.
Let's go quarter by quarter. When they started off the game, what did you think of the first quarter? How Mario playing coming out? Because I really didn't know what to expect. And if you guys didn't know, I did an interview with Alex Dono. We kind of talked behind the scenes about before the game what was expected. I mean, it was a lot of hype and going into it, but we just didn't know how the flow would go. What did you expect, and what did you see out of the first quarter?
I expected a slow start by both teams, which we got, to fill each other out, especially with them having a freshman quarterback. I was very impressed with the defense. They, you and I were watching the game together. We were like, where's Love? They ran him a few times, and then the other running back was running. And I think a lot of it has to do with Miami took him out of their game. Jordan Love is an outside of tackles type running back. He is not the in between the tackles type back like a Fletcher. Or they've never used him like that. And if you look at the games last year with Jordan Love, when he had to play against really good defenses, Georgia, Penn State, and Ohio State, he was not effective. Because they had solid front sevens. They had solid corners that could tackle and that were fast. He had over 100 yards against Indiana and against Army or Navy or both of them, and maybe Purdue and Northwestern, and USC's defense was in shambles. That's where he did all his damage. But when he had to go up against a stout defense, they hit a brick wall. And coupled with the fact that they didn't know what they had in C.J. Carr, so they did a lot of them old screen passes or flare passes to the flats to get him broke in. I think Dawson did a good job of mixing the run and the pass, and they immediately attacked Notre Dame between the tackles. They ran it right at them and was effective. Lyle was effective till he tweaked his ankle. Fletcher was very effective. And Marty Brown from North Dakota State was very effective. But you got to give that O-line credit. They outweighed Notre Dame's D-line. They would wear them down, and they did. They only sacked Beck one time. Miami got to the car 3 times. They could have got to him more than that. But in the first quarter, it was about what I expected. I said, let's see who scores first. Miami ended up scoring first. They botched that snap on the field goal. But the defense set the tone with that turnover. Yeah. That was Scott laying and you got it. These guys, if you look at the defense, look at what Scott did on that play. He knew it was a screen because the 2 linemen that were blocking him let him go and peeled off. So all he did was turn around and follow them. And when he threw the pass out there, the screen pass to the Malachi, whatever his name was for Notre Dame, that's when he popped him and he fumbled the ball.
Right. Oh, you talking about later in the game?
No, that was in the first quarter.
Okay, you talking about that? I thought you were talking about the other turtle. Okay.
These are the small details of the fan base I want the Miami fan base to be happy with, because that was situational awareness. He recognized it was a screen, and this dude turned around and chased it. And Bain did the same thing later on when he got his pick. Yeah. A lot of times with the screen, the defensive linemen, they let him go, and they all chase the quarterback, and he throw it over the top of him, and the running back get it, and he can run forever. There's nobody there. But these guys, Heatherman is doing his job. These guys were paying attention, and this was in the first quarter. And I thought to myself, okay, we saw that. We watched that, and I'm like, okay. These guys are not only aggressive, but they're paying attention. Yeah. And I really like the way they attacked. And they took Love out the game to where, remember I said at halftime, I said, man, they might be saving Love for the second half. Right. He didn't get a lot. The other running back was getting a click.
Right.
He was more of your bruiser type back, your bigger back.
Right.
So I just felt like, okay. And then they got Beck a few passes, and they kept a clean pocket for him, and he just, Malachi Tony is about the best receiver we've had out of high school since Jeff Thomas. I'm telling you, he's a phenom like that.
If you guys agree, put it in the chat. Who do you think is the best true freshman coming in? Do you think since Jeff Thomas or not? Put it in the chat. Let us know. Go ahead, Eric.
We've had a lot of time. Jeff played in Miami a couple of years, so he put up numbers. But coming out of high school, Jeff Thomas was that dude. He showed it in that. It wasn't the Under Armour game. One of them high school games where he lit it up. This kid Malachi is special. He should be a senior in high school right now.
Right.
17 years old, and for him to come out there and have that type of presence and that type of moxie up against that secondary. That says a lot. And for Carson Beck to have a clean pocket to throw the ball, to get C.J. Daniels involved. The other guy from Cincinnati got a couple passes. My man from BYU, he spread the ball around.
Yeah.
As the game went on, you and I watched it to the end of the third quarter when you had to go. You could see. But even in that first quarter, you could see, I said, okay, Beck looks comfortable. The line looks good. They not doing – there was a couple times where the left tackle got beat on a move, I think, and Maui Noga got beat on a move at the right side. But that's going to happen in the game when you play good D ends. You're not going to win every single battle. I mean, Brian McKinney is a once-in-a-lifetime type dude where he never let Dwight Freeney do nothing with him. But all in all, Miami didn't even – I think Miami had a limited playbook in this game. I don't think Dawson even opened up his playbook in this game.
Well, why would you if the thing is that you're doing work? I think
they pounded and grounded, Dwayne. We watched it. They ran the ball. It was they getting 5, 6, 7 yards a pop between the tackles. I'm like, that's what I told you. They O-line was more dominant. And when I'm getting that kind of yardage running the ball, except for a few times where they stacked the box with 9, I'm gonna run the ball. I'm gonna keep running it till you start creeping in, and they started showing how the safeties was creeping up.
Right. I think about when I first looked at it or went back and looked at the game, my first quarter analysis was kind of what you and I talked about at the beginning is could they match their physicality? And they just brought that right from the beginning. That defense was flying all over the place. They were hitting and they was running smash mouth. I mean, and that's how I knew kind of then I said, okay, these boys, they came to play. Like they here to play. And as you said, the fan base, even though before we get into the last 3 quarters of the game, and they made a couple of blown coverages. That defense was doing something they didn't do last year, causing turnovers. I mean, we can't discount how well that defense played in the first quarter, and we knew they was going to make adjustments. All right, we're going to go on to the second quarter. Uh, Second quarter, we know we kept picking it up. We kind of got away towards the end, but didn't they drive at the end of the game and score at the end, Miami? I'm trying to think.
They scored with that pass from Beck.
Right.
They scored. They at the start of the second quarter is when he hit Malachi.
Right.
Touchdown. That was a beautiful play because Beck got pressure on the left side. The dude made the spin move on our left tackle, and he came on the inside, and Beck slid out.
Right.
And Tony flattened his route, and he threw an absolute dime out there for him to get. And that made it 7-0, and that was at the start of the second quarter.
Right.
And as the quarter went, that was more. And then they scored on a blown coverage in the end zone, and that's when they tied the game because
right. Yeah.
Ahmad Moten got at him. Damn, now you calling me. Ahmad Moten came inside number 99 and chased him, and he did all what he did, and then they lost coverage with the guy in the end zone, and they tied it.
Right.
So all in all, that was that second quarter, and then they drove down the field, and again pressure, and he threw it up there, and my man caught it. It could have been picked. I'm glad it wasn't picked because then they would have been on Beck about there he go throwing picks. But Notre Dame brought pressure on that play. They brought pressure that time off both ends, and he had to make a move because again, the left tackle dude put a nice move on him and was able to come through. And Beck was able to get that ball off, and that was just an unbelievable catch by C.J. Daniels. So the second quarter, they ran the ball well. And aside from that blown play, the defense did their thing, man. Again, in that second quarter, the defense did their thing. The running back not love the other one. He had a couple nice runs. Look, ain't nobody going to totally stop the run, okay?
No.
Even the 01 defense, the 2000 defense, the 02 defense couldn't totally stop the run.
Right.
Okay? In 01, they shut down my man for Florida State, but the next year, when Sean Taylor was out there, he ran like crazy on Miami at the Orange Bowl in 02. You're not going to totally shut down the run all the time. But if you shut it down when you need to, there you go. So overall, Miami won that second quarter on both sides of the ball.
Right. All right. Before we get into the second half, you guys have not ignored your comments. I'm on a cell phone, so I'm going to read them off from this other thing. So you guys, I want to read a couple of comments that you guys have said. It says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Play backups and do target. Practice play back. Wide receiver room. Wiley. Young D tackles. Hayden Lowe. And can Mario let running backs go outside? So interesting analysis. Last one that says Jeremiah Love is a scat back. He's not a 20 carry a game back.
Right.
You can't be a 20 carry the game back. Probably. Oh, because he hurdle tackles and blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't think he's a 20 carry a game back. I don't know. Like I say, he doesn't run well between the tackles. He kind of runs off tackle and outside a lot. And that hurt him. And I mean, I know he's been doing it since he was in high school, but he gonna get himself hurt trying to hop over everybody. So he need to calm that down a little bit more. From a Notre Dame's perspective. Interesting, Eric, before we go into the second half, we were talking a little bit, and we talked to a bunch of Notre Dame fans, and they gave a lot of praise, except for one, about how great our offensive line was. And but we had some out there talking about, C.J. Daniels' catch was a lucky catch, and if it wasn't for that, and we got back in the game, that's why we finna pivot to the second half, where a lot of people really was upset with Mario, because they just think he took his foot off the gas. But
I got mixed emotions about that. Now, as far as the fans talking about luck, losers gonna say that. So luck is something when you don't try it. Okay.
True.
Luck is throwing the basketball from your front yard over your roof to the backyard driveway and it go in the hoop and you don't see it. That's luck. Okay. When somebody trying to catch the ball and they actually catch it, one hand or not, with gloves, without, it don't matter. He called.
What's the thing with the gloves? Everybody, he had gloves. So hell, I think almost everybody wear gloves.
It's like baseball. How many baseball players go to the plate without batting gloves? Very few. I remember Ozzie Smith didn't wear gloves, and Willie McGee didn't wear gloves. A lot of guys in the 70s and 80s didn't wear gloves. Now most guys wear batting gloves. So you wasn't saying that when Odell made his catch in 14 with the Giants. That was the greatest catch in the world. He had on some gloves. Gloves are not. He made the catch. So Notre Dame, let it go. Y'all lost. You still got a good team. You got a great team. And you got a bye week. Get ready for A&M. You need to beat A&M. You at home, you really need to beat A&M and make a statement. I want Notre Dame to beat the sleeves off Notre Dame. I mean, off
Texas A&M. Yeah,
absolutely. I want Notre Dame to beat the sleeves. I want them to win. They should win the rest of their games. The only game I see that might be a trap game is at Arkansas for them. If Arkansas is any good like they have been. Other than that, they should beat the sleeves off Tech. I hope they beat the sleeves off A&M. I really do. A&M got a squad, and they got a big defensive line, and they got linebackers. So we'll see what Love does with them. But anyway, call it what you want. Luck, he caught the ball. They still drove the ball down there. Miami methodically drove that ball down the field in the second quarter toward the end of the half and got that off.
Right.
So kudos to the Miami O-line, to the running backs. I understand some people are saying, well, I'd like to see our running backs go outside the tackle. I would too, but you're not going to get a lot of that with these shotgun-style offenses.
Yeah, and I just think Mario style set up, and he's always ran the ball between the tackles. I thought their best drive to me was the opening drive coming out of the half, because I think Notre Dame had time to prepare, make adjustments, and then they really was physical. Drive. Yeah, yes,
that was a statement drive. Remember we said that Miami need to come out in this first drive and score. Remember we sat there and talked about it?
Yeah.
I said Miami need to come out in this first half, second half, and score and make it 21-7, and they did that. That was a statement.
Yeah.
That was a methodical, eating up the clock, mixing the pass with the run, march it down the field, and ran that ball down their throats, right down their throats, right between the tackles. Yes, I would love to see. You're not going to see a lot of running backs break one off tackle and take it down the sideline anymore. Because nobody runs our formations like that, like they used to, where you have a nice power off tackle with a fullback in front of you, and your wide receiver make the right block, and the fullback is ahead of you, and either he's going to take out a linebacker or a safety, and your tailback can just take it down the sideline off tackle.
Right.
You're going to have your in between the tackles with your traps and your counters, and this is why I like behind under center with a fullback. I like the traditional football where, I'm going to run a trap. I'm going to pull a guard or a tackle and come around the other way. and have these dudes plow away from my tailback. But with this shotgun, you still got some counters and traps with the shotgun. So
yeah. And in the second quarter, I know a lot of people was. I heard you talking to somebody behind the scenes about how Malachi Tony didn't get off in the second half. But from my perspective, was they started rolling coverage to his side because they couldn't cover him with that safety or that linebacker, so they started rolling a little coverage to his side.
They double-teamed him. They switched another guy to him to bracket him, and they were bracketing him on the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
So they were starting to bracket him, and Mario saw that.
Yeah. So and of course, the Beck saw it, started spreading the ball around to other guys and things of that nature. So it's a lot of things that a lot of people say, oh, well, he was shut down. well, technically, he wasn't shut down. And, I mean, that's why you got other receivers out there. If they roll coverage to one side, then you got to have somebody pick up the slack on the other side, you know.
What I would like to say, and you and I felt that, I felt Mario did get a little conservative. Okay. The majority of our fan base, I'm not gonna worry about what the national pundits say. They felt like that Mario took his foot off the gas a little bit.
Yeah.
In half, in the third quarter, and even in the early parts of the fourth quarter. Yes and no. You got to understand one thing, and after I thought about it and put it in perspective, it's like it's raining. They had the momentum because they scored. Do I want to start having Carson Beck sling the ball all around the place and we end up getting a pick or a fumble? Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I have a for real defense. I can actually rely on this defense. Unlike last year, where
that's what I was saying.
As soon as Miami scores at Louisville, Louisville turns right around and scores again. So now I got to go back out here with Cam Ward and I got to score again. Same with Virginia Tech. Same with Wake Forest. Same with Duke. My defense was so horrendous last year that I had to go shot for shot with you. Whereas now the defense is my strength. Yeah, he got a little conservative, but in the back of his mind, he's thinking, okay, they starting to get the momentum. We don't need to make any mistakes. It's still raining. The ball is still wet. You got to take that into factor. You have to take that in. Don't need to get Beck hurt. Don't need to do anything stupid. Let's go with what we're working with. Yeah, they ran the ball, has 3 and outs, and Notre Dame scored again. So that even more compounds the fact that, okay, I'm going to nurse this lead.
Right.
I know the fans want to be aggressive. And now, if Mario would have been aggressive and they would have threw a pick or fumbled or a tip ball, got a pick.
Should have ran the ball more. You should have did it. Yeah.
I said there's a certain portion of our fan base and any fan base, they ain't going to never be happy.
Yeah.
You got to goddamn win.
We brought Heatherman in for situations like this. We brought Heatherman in. So you know what? If we do have to get bogged down, we need that defense where we could say, go get us a stop. Now, granted, they did come back and tie the game up. But overall, and they did blow some coverages or communication.
Miami only blew the one. That was on, oh boy, the linebacker. That was, and Moturi blew that coverage on that number 9, the tight end. And after he scrambled, he was wide open in the flat.
And also on the big run where the Notre Dame, where the somebody took the inside route and he bounced it outside, went down the sideline.
He took it down to the goal line when they scored to make it 7-7.
Right, yeah.
Out of a whole game, them the only 2 blown calls you really got on defense.
Right.
And you really didn't open up on offense, so you really upset about that fan base? Come on. Yeah. I wouldn't be upset about that. Okay?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's the ball is wet. You're a coaching staff that's paying attention. You can see that their offensive line is gassed. As the second half was going on, they were gassed. They couldn't run the ball. They brought Love back in the game. What'd he do? Nothing. They brought Old Boy back in the game. What could he do running the ball? Nothing. They shut down their running game.
Right.
So instead of
CJ Carr did play better in the fourth quarter, but
and that was on quarterback draws.
Yeah.
That was on quarterback draws. That's the only thing Heatherman didn't adjust for. But
Right.
they didn't want Carr to beat them throwing the ball.
Right.
So you took Jeremiah Love out the game. That's check. Big check.
Right.
Other running back out the game, check. You pretty much took their secondary, they receivers out. They were still thought, how did Bain get his interception once again?
Right. And shout out to the receivers, to the D-backs out there. Everybody talking, oh, well, they wasn't trying to throw the ball. No, evidently they wasn't getting open if he couldn't throw the ball down there.
My man that caused the pick for Bain, he was hurt most of all. He got hurt in the Florida game, and he was out all last year. He was supposed to be another stud cornerback for Miami. I forgot old boy name. He the one that sat down on that wide receiver screen and batted it, which caused it to go in the air. And then old boy went to pick it. He didn't pick it. His leg came up and kicked it. And,
right.
And you ask yourself, well, what the fuck? How did Bain get the ball? You know how Bain got the ball? The same way Scott did. Bain recognized that it was a wide receiver screen. And as soon as those offensive linemen peeled off of him, if you watch the replay, he looked and turned around and went out to the flat because he saw it was the same bullshit that got Scott to fumble in the first half. The same play to the other side. That's why he was in position to get the pick. Because if you watch the replay, he saw the lineman peel off him to go out to the flat. He knew it was a screen. He turned around and ran out to the flat to make a play. He was going to make the tackle the same way Scott did on the other side.
Right.
It happened, the ball got tipped and went up in the air, and he was right there to get it. And the first person that tried to tackle him was the offensive lineman that was out there to do the screen, and he missed on him. And I wish Bain would have blew Carr up. Carr pushed it. I wish Bain would have just laid that dude.
Hey, there's a couple of things on that we talking about within that play, that we was not complaining about, but we wanted to see from the defense, just in that one play.
Situational
awareness, hustle, that we knew that he was going to have them flying to the ball and cause the turnovers. Those three things that we wanted to see out of this defense.
If you take away anything with those two plays, both turnovers involved your defensive linemen. That's telling you something.
Mm-hmm.
Not just a fumble in the backfield or the quarterback bobbled the snap, but these was wide receiver screen passes out to the flats, and your D tackle caused one, and your defensive end was there to get the pick on the other one because they had the overall awareness to put themselves in position to make a play. They didn't bite on the screen. That's telling you that my man and D coach is coaching them up right. Heatherman is coaching them up right. This is what the fan base needs to be looking at, the small intangibles. Instead of getting upset, Mario not putting his foot on the gas, you need to look at this defense because this defense is going to carry this team.
Yeah, I agree.
Going to carry this team this year.
I agree wholeheartedly. Now, we dived into the fourth quarter. Notre Dame makes their run. And at the end of the game, of course, you came up big. You get a intentional grounder, then you get a sack to close out the game, but build it up into their.
I like the drive that got them the field goal.
Yeah, I like that drive too.
Watch that drive for Miami. They ate up clock.
Crucial third down run.
Third down runs with Brown, the third back. This is what the fan base needs to be looking at. Instead of being mad at Mario about not stepping on their throats, he did when they needed to. In the fourth quarter, when the game was tied, if Miami would have fucked around and had to punt, or if Beck would have thrown the ball, it could have got tipped, it could have got picked, anything. He stayed true to what he did. We're gonna run this ball. We're gonna run this. He knew that their D-line was gassed, and the only way they're gonna stop me is to stack this box. And what did they do? They ran that ball all the way down there and got within field goal range. And then we all sat back hoping, man, this dude, I hope he can make this field goal.
Boy.
They kept saying, well, he only made 4 out of 11 kicks for FIU or FAU. And what'd he do? He could have made that field goal from 60. That ball was so high up in the uprights.
Right.
So, I mean, what else you want Mario to do? Yeah, he played to protect the lead, but when you got a defense like that, I'm gonna lean on them. And what did? They turn right around. That O-line for Notre Dame was so gassed. When you on the sideline sucking popsicles, you sucking down Gatorade popsicles because your O-line is so gassed. And I like the move they made. They put Mesidor next to Bain. First time they got to him when he threw the ball and it was intentional ground and they was coming off each end and got to him.
Right.
The second play where they sacked him and the clock ran out, they put Mesidor next to him. So Mesidor took an inside move. Bain came from the outside, and then Scott and Blunt was over here. They all crashed and they got to him in the end of the game. That's what you want, people.
Yeah. Because we know.
Because the cornerbacks had their people locked down. He didn't throw the ball, and they got to him so fast because their O-line was gassed. You got to look at the small things in the game that lead up to the end. Mario knew I got him on the ropes. I don't need to try to throw the ball and a mistake happen and Carson throw a pick or it get tipped or somebody fumble it or we bobble a snap or anything could go wrong.
Or you leave a time on the clock. You know, you got to eat the clock.
You want to question Mario's clock management? You can't. They did perfect. Him and Shannon Dawson did perfect, man. They methodically worked that ball down the field. They ate up clock. They only had a minute and something left, and they made Notre Dame burn all their timeouts.
Yep.
They made them burn all 2 or 3 of them. They made them burn all of them. So when they did get the ball back, they only had like a minute and 2 or a minute and 3 left. And shout out to the kicker for kicking all them kickoffs out the back of the end zone with the exception of, I think, 1.
Yeah, except for 1, yeah.
That was huge. That was huge. He didn't give him a chance to return anything.
Right.
So fan base, stop nitpicking on stupid shit about what he should. They'll turn up the heat on who they need to turn it to. This was Notre Dame. They was real. This is not the team you want to make a mistake with, freshman quarterback or not.
Right.
All it took was for Love to get one blown coverage, and he could have bust one down the sideline, and everybody would have been mad. All this. We gave the ball back with too much time. They let him return a kickoff back. Mario did everything right. So people need to stop with this bitching about what he should have kept up on the pressure. Look, they did put the pressure. They picked their spots for the pressure.
Right.
And that was crucial. That was crucial. We watched it.
Yeah.
He picked his spots to put the pressure on him, man. Why put the pressure on myself if a mistake happens? Because shit happens.
I think a lot of it comes from, a lot of people, my personal opinion.
They're still tripping off of Middle Tennessee State and Georgia Tech.
Well, it's not even that. They still in the Cam Ward hangover where they want to see this high explosive offense. But a guy asked me how did Beck play yesterday. I said he did what he had to do to win the game. I said he played a clean game. I'd rather you play a clean game and get us to win than throw for 400 yards and we lose. You know, that's the way I look at football. You know, I'm not looking at you.
He had an outstanding game. He didn't wow you with the numbers, but 2 touchdowns, no picks. He ran it a couple times when he needed to. He only got sacked 1 time.
A clean game.
No fumbles on exchanges with running backs. He looked good. He looked comfortable. And the kid is happy, man. What else could y'all want? The boy happy where he is. He wasn't happy in Georgia, man. And they beat him up down there in the press down there. They blamed him for a lot of shit. He was in a toxic environment down there.
Yeah. And just think of all the time. He just looked so comfortable in the pocket. And when I was speaking to a Notre Dame fan, that we talked about how C.J. Carr took that sack. And he did bring this out. He said, this is what youth brings you. He said, because Beck, when he threw that touchdown to Malachi, you see how he just slid in the pocket, where C.J. Carr was trying to bail out the pocket. And I was like, that's what experience brings you. And that's why we wanted an experienced quarterback coming in with some of this young talent that can ride the ship to get them to understand where they need to be at. And I thought the most important thing was that Beck was getting them in great sets. He was getting everybody lined. He was making shifts at the line of audibles at the line of scrimmage. And you can't teach those type of things. Some of this you just got to go through the fire and know. He'd been in big games, like you said before. So this Notre Dame game wasn't too big for him. You could tell it wasn't.
Yeah, he been in some big ball games. You know, he been in the SEC championship game twice. You know, this ain't nothing to him, man. So this is, you know, like I said, I'm gonna give props where props is due. You got to give Notre Dame props. That was probably the best defense Miami gonna see all year. I think it's gonna be the best defense. You know, you didn't see much with Florida because they played a high school team. Our little brother up north, they showed out. I think some of that got to do with that they've improved, but I think it also shows the regression of Alabama, because Alabama still got dudes on that team.
Yeah.
They still got some 5-star killers on that team, and you saw it. I watched the Florida State game. You still saw it. There were instances in the game where they was like, look, we still who we are, and they shut down FSU at times with shit. So the jury out on Florida State. I'm happy they won, but we're gonna see.
Right.
You know, they got a high school game today too. So
yeah, I think the people that are inside the Alabama organization, and some that I've spoken to, and I told you about that. Some of the sources that I'm hearing is that a lot of that stuff is effort with the Alabama people. It's some things going on in the organization, and some of the same problems that they're having. From what I'm hearing, it's the same problem, like I said, we had with Diaz, where, you know, that they don't respect the board like they respected Nick Saban.
That could very well be a case for it. Maybe the discipline isn't there that it was with Saban. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna elaborate on that. But all I know is I'm very, very happy with this win. This win is big. Look at that. SMU scored already on some.
Well, hey, they should run it up on them. You know, let's talk a little bit about the ACC. We were talking a little bit about that. That really the only couple of teams that impressed us this week was Georgia Tech and Florida State. Really, you know,
Penn State played a high school team. Georgia played Marshall. Clemson is who I said they were. Didn't I say the LSU was going to beat them? I told them LSU was going to win that game. You can say what you want about Clemson. I don't think Clemson could beat Miami. This schedule says 12-0 all over it. If I don't think Mario is going to Mario a game, because everybody thought he was going to Mario this game, going conservative against Notre Dame, and they won the game because they couldn't see the forest through the trees. So if Mario don't do something boneheaded, this schedule says 12-0. Like I said, we're gonna see who Florida State is in the next few weeks. One game at a time. Take care of it today. Next week, South Florida coming. They beat up on Boise State. They playing the Gators today. So, you know,
and Boise State hasn't looked good all year. You know, I done watched them play twice.
They was ranked, so we're gonna see. But here's the deal: South Florida plays at Gainesville today. That's a test for the Florida Gators, because they had a high school team last year, and then that same South Florida Bulls coming back down to Miami. So, from what I'm hearing is, if Florida take care of them today and we take care of them next week, there's a very good chance that game day may come to Miami for the Florida-Miami game, if they both sitting at 3-0.
That'll be a good game, because Florida wants some get back.
Yep. Or if Miami handles their business and takes care of Florida, and FSU handle their business and they go 4-0.
Well, they should. They schedule looking kind of.
Game day could come to Tallahassee October 4th, because now this game is going to really mean something. And I'm leaning toward that Florida State and Miami going to actually really mean something now, because I got a strong suspicion that Clemson might lose next week. They got a high school team today.
Who they play next week?
At Georgia Tech next week. And Georgia Tech is really In my heart of hearts, I would love to see Miami get some get back against Georgia Tech in the ACC title game, because the last 2 years we lost to them by not taking the knee, and then this past season losing, last year. I'd like to see Miami beat Georgia Tech for an ACC title. I really don't think Clemson is going to be what they thinking they be. I think Dabo was too arrogant. His arrogance shows, and they got humbled by LSU. And LSU didn't do a whole lot in that game. What was the final? 17-10 or something? 14-7?
Yeah, I don't remember the final, but yeah.
So I don't think Clemson is all that. I think Florida State and Georgia Tech are the two teams that are really on the rise in the ACC, on what used to be the Atlantic. Well, Georgia Tech was in the Coastal, but aside from Clemson. And Miami only plays Florida State, and I think that would be huge if game day would have come down there. Right. And then who knows? If they don't, they might come. If SMU go undefeated, they might come to Dallas when Miami come down there and play them.
I did watch Dabo's press conference, and boy,
did you see?
He got in there. He said, "I got Cookman over the Canes, 31-30. I became." Hey man, we just said y'all got to focus on Texas A&M, man. Don't come in here Notre Dame fan doing all that.
So A&M to protect CJ Carr, because A&M got some.
Hey, we just gave CJ Carr a bunch of props too, man. We thought he played a hell of a game in the second half.
I know the Notre Dame fans. Y'all better than Florida State fans. Y'all understand. Y'all understand. Y'all understand. The majority of Notre Dame fans took it on the chin. They took it right. They know they boys got beat up. They got beat up in the trenches, and their number one man was taken out of the game because he wasn't effective. And like I said, if you look at the analytics of the game, if you look at the type of runner Love is, he is not an in between the tackle type running back. He is your outside the tackle type, scat back type that's going to bust one, make some moves, hurdle a guy. He's not the type of, like you say, like my man said, he's not going to get 20, 25 yards. But
it's surprising. It's surprising because he has size to run between the tackles. He's not a
for that. Other boys for that.
Yeah.
That's no Hammer, the other guy.
Right.
They got a two-back, just like with the Lions. They got Montgomery and they got what's his name? Same thing. Montgomery is kind of your bruiser, whereas old boy is the what's his name? He's the speed back for Detroit. They run the same type of thing. And Love ain't gonna get the ball 20, 25 times a game. So anyway, it was a great game, wonderful game, great atmosphere. We saw all the stars out there: Ray Lewis, Andre Johnson, Devin Hester, Gino Torretta. You keep going. Edgerrin James was there. Ed Reed, all of them was there.
Hey, even your boy Stephen A. Smith was there.
Stephen A. was there, and he stayed throwing big four-headed butt. But it's just nice. It's just nice to see all them guys come out there and show love. And shout out to Michael Irvin. If you get anybody to interview, try to tap in with that dude, man.
Hey, I'm trying behind the scenes to get everybody.
Mike Irvin is wonderful, man. Mike Irvin. It was just so nice to see everybody there and to have all these recruits there.
Okay. Hey, we got big kids.
Man, none of them kids have signed, so it's gonna be some flips.
We got one more comment. He said, "I told y'all CJ was good." The chat said I was on delusional weed. Hey, they wasn't the chat. It was the other guy that was on the panel with us said you was on that weed.
CJ, let me tell you something. CJ nice. I watched him throw it. He got a nice arm. He made some freshman mistakes.
Yeah.
Dude gonna be nice as he develops and they give him time.
Right. Now I did, and I said I watched the Dabo, I guess sidetrack the Dabo interview, and boy, he was letting some guys have it, boy, behind it, and
he dogged his receivers, he dogged his O-line.
Man.
He said the only dudes I had show up was his D-line and his linebackers and his secondary.
Right.
His defense.
But it was like
You don't go out there and trash your team like that in front of the media. I don't think you do.
yeah. Just from an pure athletic standpoint, they just didn't look as athletic as LSU out there.
LSU,
they played hard though.
For all the stuff, LSU. Look, man, LSU was still an SEC team. Brian Kelly is not a bad coach. He got a great coaching staff. His ass is on the hot seat. He's lost all 3 of his season openers so far, and then they ain't won a season opener since 19 when they had Joe Burrow and won a title. So the pressure was on them.
Yeah,
and they brought the pressure to Klubnik, and they let you see Klubnik for. I don't think Klubnik is no first round draft #1 overall pick.
Boy, a lot of people do, boy.
How? Show me where. We've watched him for 4 years. This is 4. Remember, he got rid of DJ Ungolola or whatever. Dabo got rid of him for Klubnik as a freshman.
He should have. DJ wasn't.
And why he scored so good in the NFL? What team he with in the NFL?
Shit, I didn't even know he made a roster.
He did.
Oh, did he? Jeez.
He did. And they said he looked good too. It's the system. The same way he got rid of Kelly Bryant for Trevor Lawrence. And Kelly Bryant transferred to Mizzou, remember?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
He got rid of him for Trevor Lawrence. He got rid of DJ for Klubnik. And we seen Klubnik too. I'm not saying Klubnik is bad now.
No. I said Chargers. Say with the Chargers.
Right. So he ain't no sellers. They still not giving that boy his props.
Boy, he looked good. He looked good. He looked real good.
Virginia Tech ass up.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech, South Carolina.
Yeah. South Carolina was Virginia Tech, wasn't it?
He tore their butt up.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was Tennessee that whooped up on Syracuse. I don't need to worry about Syracuse either.
Yeah, Syracuse. I don't know what I expected out of him. I thought
if you want to get that wide receiver that committed to them, that's from Miami. That's Malachi Tony, best friend that was in the locker room kicking it with him.
Right.
His mama went to Miami. She like one of the top female athletes ever, and they Ring of Honor. If you want him to stay home, you need to go out there and beat the sleeves off Syracuse.
Hey, look, after seeing that Jelly play, and I thought he would be better coming over from Notre Dame, get a chance to start. I ain't gonna say he played a bad game, but overall, as an offensive unit, they left something to desire. I'll just leave it at that. Defensively, they didn't look good on that side of the ball either. So, Syracuse still didn't impress me.
No, they weren't impressive at all. Syracuse wasn't impressive. Virginia Tech wasn't impressive. So people need to get off of this. Well, it's going to be cold up there. So
yeah.
So it's cold. And when did that stop Miami in the past? When it was cold? Never. Never. Now all of a sudden, when I got a line, when my lines are like that, and I'm just going to, if it's cold, okay, y'all want to do 3 yards in a cloud of dust? Let's go.
Yeah.
Take another ACC team out there and line them up with us and see who got the better line.
Right. Now, did Pittsburgh? I didn't see Pittsburgh play at all. So
the high school team, they won.
Did they? Who else? We know Stanford looked like crap. We know Cal.
LSU got challenged, but not LSU. Louisville got challenged yesterday.
Yeah. Louisville got challenged.
They got challenged by, was that James Madison?
Yep, James Madison defense was balling that first quarter and a half.
All that day, aside from their little running back, and if you can slow down Love, you can slow him down. They Louisville O-line ain't like Notre Dame, so I don't see an issue, bro. You get past Florida State and SMU, and I don't see an issue, man.
The caveat for that Florida State game is I know it's a big rivalry game. It's what type of competition would Florida State have faced up until that point of us playing. We know they have played Alabama, but after that, they haven't played any teams, with all due respect, worthy of that until they play Miami. So it's going to be interesting with Miami coming off playing, Notre Dame, they're coming off playing Florida, and they're coming in, they have been already played theoretically 2 top 15 teams. So they'll be pretty battle tested coming into that game there. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah. They let me see. Where the hell?
You say, Miami don't go to but one place that's cold this season. Well, hey, as long as you win in that place that's cold.
Who cares? So what? Florida State already up 7-0, but they playing East Texas A&M the same. They played somebody last year.
Right.
Them today. They got Kent State. Oh, they at Virginia now. Virginia didn't look too bad. They at Virginia on the 26th. So they could be
they should be undefeated.
They should be, but if they're gonna be, I think they'll beat Virginia, but Virginia gonna give them a game. Virginia might do us a favor, might wear them down a little bit. So when we get there.
But I would say theoretically, you would think that our strength of schedule will be more battle tested. Miami will coming into that game.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So
you got 2 games before you even play Florida State.
Yeah.
South Florida ain't gonna be no punks. They got they got 60-some dudes on that team that's from Florida.
Yeah. So
South Florida ain't gonna be no punks. They are not. They're not. That's the same quarterback they had last year. The difference is Miami defense is going to be a lot different than last year. And I don't know if you watched the video of the brother on YouTube. He got a video about all the players that transferred from Miami. Where are they now?
I haven't seen it.
It's on YouTube. If I got the link, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
You go all the players that left Miami last year and transferred this year and what they've done so far. A few of them guys in the secondary. Running back, a couple corners. Isaiah Horton went to Alabama.
Right.
My man, the one dude went to Oklahoma State and got kicked off the team. He was a safety. Yeah. So he got a nice video on where are they now, what they doing now since they bounced and left Miami. Are they doing better or worse than staying at Miami? So that was a pretty interesting video to watch. But no, I think they get through because after Florida State, they get another bye week, I believe.
Yeah, and they're going to need it after that. Now, going back to the game, your overall assessment of Mario's play calling and how he managed the game, because this is a big topic. What is your overall?
I give Mario an A-.
Okay.
I'm going to give Mario an A-. I'm going to give that man the benefit of the doubt. I know people saying he plays scared, but you know what? I'd rather everybody be mad because he's played scared and we got to win than him being extra aggressive and something happened. And then you lose the game to Notre Dame when you was in control of the game. You was dominating the game. Ain't nothing worse than losing the game when you dominated the game. Just ask the 86 Hurricanes when they went and played Penn State in the Fiesta Bowl.
Right.
Lost that game 14-10 when you dominated Penn State.
Right.
Vinny had 5 picks. This is what happens when you get too happy with your quarterback and you want them to shine when they really don't need to shine, and it cost you.
Right.
It cost them against Syracuse last year when they should have just ran the ball down their throats. When you was getting 7 yards a pop, you up 21-0. What the fuck you throwing the ball for? I'm running it now. So Mario got all that in the back of his mind. The Georgia Tech fumble, the debacle at Syracuse, Why would I got the lead. I got a defense now. So everybody need to chill. If you want to be upset, fine. We got the W. I'd rather be upset with the W than be sitting up here like, man, I'm not even, it ain't the end of the world, but they lost this game. They lost a golden opportunity. All these recruits, all 5-star blue chippers in here.
You don't want to lose with all those recruits there. Didn't they say they had over 100 recruits there or something? Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
They sold out.
Yeah.
Going bananas. Notre Dame fans saying it wasn't even a football game. It was more like a party. That's what it was. Yeah. As long as Miami win and keep it winning and make it interesting. What did I say a few weeks ago? Just win. Everything else will take care of itself. The people gonna come. If they'd have lost this game, motherfuckers would have been mad, lost money.
Hey, people get mad when they lose that money. What do you think of Heatherman's play on the defense? So what grade would you give Heatherman's?
A+.
Okay.
A+. If anything, an A. If I want to take away, if instead of giving him 100, I'll give him a 97. Just because them two blown, and them wasn't on him. That was on the linebacker blowing that, and then my man bouncing that run out right before the end of the second quarter to tie the game or to tie the game.
Right.
Other than that, they were outstanding.
Okay.
He called a great game. His guys were ready for screens. When I got defensive linemen in position being ready for screens, that's telling me that that's been coached.
Right. Anybody know? I don't have the statistics of Notre Dame wide receivers, but it'll be interesting because I don't think they caught many passes. So I wouldn't.
Another factor I want to throw in there for the fans is this: Miami's wide receivers were blocking their butts off.
Yes.
They were beating up the secondary from Notre Dame. They was out there really blocking. I mean, these guys, it's wonderful to see that these guys weren't crying, I want the ball, and these guys was blocking, man. They was giving their cornerbacks the business. And remember, they got some of the best corners in the country.
Yeah. Yeah, Notre Dame got some corners out there.
They got some serious corners.
Quick question before we finish that. I got a email and somebody was asking me, what do you think about the absence of JoJo Trader in this game? And some of the guys.
He was targeted a couple times.
Yeah, him and Ray Ray.
Ray, I don't know. Now, see, this with Ray, I don't understand. There's something going on, but I can't speculate.
Because I was surprised he wouldn't return the kicks. We seen Malachi back there.
There's something going on with Ray. I don't know what's going on. I'm not even going to speculate, because that dude is a playmaker. And there's some's up. They ain't saying. Maybe something happened internally. So I'm going to leave it at that. JoJo was targeted a couple times, and JoJo was out there blocking. Once again, y'all, we have an unselfish group.
And JoJo would have scored. I mean to cut you off. Remember, he got held on that bomb down the right-hand side, and old boy grabbed him. They didn't throw the flag. Yeah.
He had this guy beat. He had the guy beat, man, and he held him. There was a lot of – in the second half, there was some questionable calls. The refs really tried to help in this game. I hate to. We watched it. I hate to. They called some bullshit. What was that call in the third quarter on that kickoff?
That roughing or unsportsmanlike conduct or whatever.
Instead of, if anything, it should have been a clip. If that he called an unsportsman, was made it 15 yards. So instead of the Miami getting the ball on the 30, they had to get the ball on the 15.
Yeah.
And they called another hold or something on them, and it killed that. That was the next drive after they made it 21. Remember, Miami scored to make it 21-7.
Right.
And then they stuffed Notre Dame on the offense and was getting the ball back. And I remember we talked about it. I said, man, he didn't make it 28-7. It's a wrap.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, here come an unsportsmanlike and another penalty. I think it was 2 or 3 penalties, and it stalled that drive out.
Yeah.
And they punt back to them. And that kind of changed the game a little bit toward Notre Dame's favor. So, see, the Zebras can change some shit.
Yeah, we know they can.
Because Miami could have went down. If anything, if the fan base said, well, why didn't Miami turn on the gas? They was about to on that drive.
Yeah.
I really felt like they was gonna make it 28-7. What the hell? You unsportsmanlike on a kickoff? The ball.
Yeah. Come on.
You felt the momentum right there. They got the ball to the nice return. Remember, he had nice
Yeah.
return, got it to the 30. I said, "Oh shit, it's a wrap. They about to score again."
Right.
And here come the yellow handkerchief. So that stalled that right there. That's what flipped the game right there. That little bit of flipping right there, that little bit of sauce, it changed the trajectory of everything right there.
Yeah, it's crazy because I even tweeted that. I was just like, here come the refs, just out the blue, just throwing these flags. And especially the way that they were calling the game, you were letting all these holding calls go.
Oh, my God.
You're letting all these go. And then all of a sudden in the second half, you just start throwing flags. It baffled me out of nowhere. It was kind of like.
Here's a side note for all of us and all our Canes fans. It's a year away, but next year we got to go to South Bend. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. South Bend is going to be rocking. They already on the sites and the Notre Dame sites talking about it already. It's like they forgot about this season.
We ain't got to talk about it, but just so next year we travel. I might go to that game. I don't know. That game is, that's only about a 5-hour drive.
Hey, I'll go. I'm pretty sure Big Kev, if he's still out there, he'll go. So, and a couple other people will go.
It ain't nothing but a 45-minute hop on United to O'Hare in Chicago and like a 20-minute flight from Chicago to South Bend. I get a rental car, goddamn it.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So we'll give Heatherman an A. What do you think about Shedda Dawson?
I'm giving him an A.
Okay.
I'm giving him an A. He called a good game. He didn't overdo it. He called a good mix game. Beck was clean. Beck had time. I got bounced in about 8 minutes.
Okay.
But I give him an A. I give the coaching staff overall a grade of an A overall.
I think Damian Lewis did a hell of a job with that line. I think
he needs a credit because, like I said, if my defensive ends and defensive tackles, if they have the situational awareness to see a screen is being developed, that play by Scott in the first quarter to cause that fumble, that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
That he saw that the guard and tackle peeled off and let him go. And he saw that when you watch the replay and he turned right around and ran out to the flat. He chased them.
Right.
Carr threw it to the receiver and he blasted his ass, which caused that fumble. Now, if he would have ran out there, like most of us would have chased the quarterback, he'd have threw it over his head, he'd have got that ball, ain't no telling how far he would have ran with it.
Yeah. And like I tell you guys before we get up out of here, it was a couple of things that we already know, but it was some things that Heatherman didn't plan for. He didn't plan for the QB draw because we had never seen CJ Carr. So that's just the unexpected things, ebb and flow of the game. You know what I'm saying? And but if you notice, at the end of the game, they shut him down. You know what I'm saying? There was no running lanes for him to run. So
them last two plays it showed you how special Bain and Mesidor really are.
Oh man. Hey, they get national attention now. You heard people saying,
be on notice with these dudes now, man.
Yeah. Malachi Tony get national attention. So, the crazy part is he's finna start getting game plan for it, which makes it easier for the other receivers. If you want a game plan for him, we got other receivers out here that can get off. So, that's neither here or there. All right, we'll take this last one before we get out of here. He said, I think that Carson or the Canes wide receivers did a good job. There were some non-holding calls. Yeah, that's what we talked about earlier.
They did a great job blocking. If y'all want to go back and watch the highlights of the game, watch how they blocked. Watch how CJ Daniels blocked, how JoJo blocked. All the receivers were blocking very well. They were giving them the business. Their cornerbacks were getting the business with that blocking.
Yeah.
So
all right, guys.
It has to be spoken on, man, the way the receivers. If your wide receivers block well, your running backs are going to have a good day because when they get to that second level, if they get past that linebacker and safety, ain't nothing left but the end zone.
Right. All right, guys. We're going to wrap it up. Like I said, I will be at the game today if you guys down there.
Have a blast. Have a blast.
Send me, I will. I'll be down there tailgating with somebody. If you guys go down there, hop on my Twitter, send me a DM on my Twitter, or you could just email me at zonesports.com, Gmail.
If you can, Dwayne, go live on Facebook.
Oh, I'll be live. I'll be live down there. So if you guys want to look me up, tell me where you at. We're going to kick it, have a good time. Of course, enjoy the game. And then next week, I'll be back in my office because, hey, doing this live from a hotel is weird. But we just got to tap in. We got to give y'all this content, you know what I'm saying, no matter where we at. So we appreciate y'all.
Right. Shout out to Alex Dono. That was a great interview.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Alex Dono, shout out to you, man. Cool guy. We had a great interview. We had a great talk behind the scenes, some stuff off the record, but great guy. Tap in with him at Locked On Canes, which I know almost all of you guys do. So, but great guy. If you ever see the interview, tap on over there, check it out. It's on Zone Sports. We appreciate you guys. And we out. Holler at me at the game, though, if you're going. We out.
It's all about the you, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy the game tonight. Enjoy the weekend.